Hello everyone and welcome to American Literature. I have to tell you, I love teaching this course, but I also know many of you are here because you were told you need to have a literature class to get your degree. Most of you are not aspiring English majors. Awesome if you are, but I know most of you plan to become nurses and engineers and business owners. You might be thinking, I don't need this for my career. So what could you possibly gain from reading the works of a bunch of authors who've been dead for centuries? It's a valid question. And let's put aside all the tradition of a well-rounded education dating back to the formation of the Western world, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, the whole pillars of civilization thing. Let's be pragmatic. What's the point? What will you gain from reading literature? Because this is an American literature class, I want to point out two elements that will be especially important to us. The first one, this is us. These writers are wrestling with the question of what it means to be an American. I once heard a British professor observe that Americans are in a constant state of identity crisis. Our history as a nation is relatively young. We have been formed by waves of immigration, by taking land that isn't ours, by injustices and remarkable victories. And through it all, we see different languages, different values, different traditions. We're diverse, but this same diversity has always led to anxieties about who we are. In many of these writings, the writers are attempting to say, this is American. This is who we are. It is what drives us today. It's how we see the world, what we value, and what differentiates us from Europe. Part 2. We all have questions. We have always had questions. And throughout human history, every era, every generation has struggled with the same questions. Literature is a place where we can contemplate and sometimes find possible answers to these questions through the medium of storytelling. One of the things I've learned early on, one of the reasons I love reading these stories, is that they are in the present. This is what makes it classic. Somehow what someone wrote long ago still speaks to us today. I mean, sure, the writers are dead, but these writers are writing for you in this moment. And they had no idea what you would look like and talk like, or that you'd be watching a video like this. But all of them considered their writings would last through the centuries. And they are struggling with the same questions we struggle with today. How do we make sense of death, disease, and war when it seems so arbitrary? How do we maintain hope when life is filled with hardships? How do you stay true to yourself when society demands you be something or someone else? How do we form connections in an increasingly fragmented world? But not every question must be so somber. Some of these enduring questions can be fun too, and of course these writers ask one of the most enduring questions of every civilization, about love. What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me no more. What is love? Yeah.
Wow, that was weird. I can't promise that won't happen again in this class. So here we are, pondering questions, looking for answers, and reading some of the greatest stories American writers have left us to enjoy. Let's get started. Right, Godzilla? Right, Steve Ross? Let's go, guys. Okay.
Don't hurt me.